What's up, everybody? Been quite a while since I've made any content, and I'm starting with an easy one. Here we go. We're cleaning out the furnace room / storage room, and as you can see in the top left, it is just packed with junk, all sorts of junk in that trunk. And we're pulling all sorts of trunks out. That's right, I got a little bit of help from the little man. There he is. And I got some help from the dog. Actually not helping much, just walking around pissing me off, getting in my way. And we've got stacks and stacks and stacks of totes. My OCD was starting to act up. I've got some spare wood left over from the kitchen reno from when we had a kitchen fire 2 days before our wedding, but that's another story for another time. And I figured, you know what? Let's get this project done easy enough. I'll be able to shoot the video, get reacclimated to that whole process, get some content out there, get my feet wet again. Boy, it feels like my first bike ride and the training wheels are starting to come off. I'm pretty excited, so let's get going. Every good job starts with a suck and a blow, and as you can see, I'm no stranger to getting that done. I'm even cleaning up there on the shelf where I had some sheetrock left over from about, I don't know, a year and a half ago that I said I would clean up later, and frankly, I didn't. So what? What are you gonna do about it? We're going to start measuring this out. I got some help from my little man there, measuring how wide the shelves are going to be, how deep they're going to be, about 2 feet. And we're also going to measure it again just for good check. And how about a third time just in case? And we're going to jot it down on our little chart. We're going to make them 32 inches off the floor to the bottom of that first shelf. And I'm going to mark it all the way around. I'm also going to just mark for the second shelf now. I'm giving myself enough height for the stud and for the plywood, just so I know I have enough room on that second shelf. Fighting with the tape measure a little bit. There's my drawing, some wood that I'm probably going to use. There's the plywood, some more wood up top, and here's me talking about how awesome all this spare wood is. I guess I decided to use some of that wood in the first garage because I'm bringing it in right there. Gonna mark all these out. This is what I'm going to use to build the frames. I'm going to build them here in the shop, and then I'm just going to bring them downstairs into the furnace room all the way in the basement. Now, I might as well just get into the fact that I should have did this a long time ago, but I wound up not doing it, all right? Other things got in the way, and frankly, I just started about 13 other projects that I didn't finish also, and I decided since I have all this nice, fancy spare wood, I might as well, use it. Salvaging as much wood as I can here. You can see this is more wood from the reno of the kitchen, and I'm banging out all these nails, and I believe this was only to measure it and find out that it's not long enough, so I threw it to the side. But I'm gonna get 2 pieces out of here. I'm gonna get 2 more pieces out of the one in the back that I'm measuring now. And here's me eating a cookie, chocolate chip, very delicious. So we're cutting it up, and there's really nothing to it. We're just gonna build a couple rectangles on the floor here in a minute. Definitely gonna take a second to say that the shop's looking pretty good, not gonna lie. Beard's looking pretty sweet as well, and that hat definitely can be replaced, but it's putting in work. Actually, that hat is super uncomfortable to wear, and it makes my head itchy. One thing I am going to point out is I am not wearing any proper PPE. I should definitely, at the very least, be wearing some safety glasses, because in a second, you're going to see all this dust kicking up off of the floor, because honestly, I've been in here sanding the hell out of a piece of furniture and really just wearing a face mask and kind of dealing with it. We got 1 rectangle built. Time for the second one. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Put the support in the middle, measure it out so it's perfect. And we're gonna keep it moving here, banging in the corners, coming up to the top corner, flipping that piece over. Look how twisted that one stud is. No problem. We're just gonna grab a hammer and we're gonna whack it in there and then blow the nail out the other corner. No problem at all. Let's hit those middle supports, and then we'll pull this nail out of the corner. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Not a problem though, we're just gonna keep it moving. I'm cutting a support piece here, 32 inches long, and that's just to hold up the one side of this shelf frame while I try to position it and get it all nice and level. Got the totes under there, so it looks like it's gonna be a perfect amount of height. And we're whacking it around while my little friend falls over a couple times, and 1 more time. There he goes. Okay, get the hell back up there and get to work. I'm gonna give it 1 more measure before I fasten the wood into the cement block using this old school Remington. You put a 22 shell inside, you close it up, you stuff the front like a muzzle loader with a nail, and then you hit the back of it with a hammer, hopefully not like a bee, and it goes all the way in. You can see in that right corner I split the wood, so I pre-drilled all the holes for the following ones that I had to do. Right there, that one actually sank pretty nice. Check and level again each step of the way. And we're going to put a couple more in over here. Looks like I finally got some PPE on. I got some hearing protection, but I don't have any eye protection on. So I'm getting there, but one step at a time. Some of those went in real nice, and here's me just checking the level, checking myself out, and really just kind of showing off on how freaking fancy I am. I'm going to put some 3-inch screws through the wood into the studs. And I'm checking measure again on this as if I didn't already check it. I'm going to put in this 1 piece of plywood instead of 2 pieces. Originally, I wanted to use 2 pieces because it would be easier to move it down into the basement. Instead, I used 1 piece because 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I assumed that those were 24 inches wide, but they were only 23 inches wide. And again, my shelf is 24 inches wide or 24 inches deep. So I'm using 1 piece. I didn't rip it down. I didn't put an extra little 1-inch rip into the back there. I'm just using the 23 inches. That's right, using the 23 inches to my full advantage, and I'm using it as 1 piece just to get it extra sturdy. Putting a whole shitload of screws in here, pre-drilling them, sinking them down so nothing sticks out. And I'm using my friend again, not really cooperating with me too much, just trying to get this shelf up above the furnace. Don't mind that freaky little scene there. You'll have to go back and figure that out for yourself. I'm using the Remington again just to sink this wood into the cement block. And you can see I'm a little concerned about the back there. There is a little gap, and I was just worried that it wasn't going to hold as good as it should. But I decided that it was okay, and I proceeded forward anyway. I'm using 3-inch screws again on the right side to secure it into the stud. And we're back up in the shop, gonna rip down the 2nd piece of plywood for the upper shelf. And I think we missed it earlier when I was running my mouth, but I cut the first shelf a little too heavy. I wound up having to rip it out, bring it up into the shop, trim it down about a blade, and then reinstall it. This 2nd shelf should go in a lot smoother. Couple taps of the hand, lift it up over there, and whack it with a hammer, and there we go. Tits McGee, it's looking good. We're gonna pre-drill all our holes, and we're gonna sink in our screw heads. That way nothing's sticking out of the top, cutting up on our totes, and you know, everything looks all fancy. I'm going to put in, I don't know, probably about 400 screws just to make sure this shelf doesn't go anywhere, and we're getting close to the end. So I just want to thank everybody for sticking with me and just kind of seeing one of the projects that I'm doing around the house. I'm going to be doing more of these videos, and hopefully if you like it, you stick around long enough to see those little sneak peeks in my gut, and you get those little tender moments that the people who dipped out earlier in the video, they're never even going to get it, and they're never going to understand. I'm going to put more of this content out, and if you're seeing this on possibly my YouTube channel, I certainly have nowhere near enough subscribers to get any kind of monetization going. But if you do want to help me out, just share the video. Share it with your friends. Hopefully you got a kick out of it. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you laughed a little bit. Or maybe you just killed, I don't know, about 8.5 minutes watching me do what I'm doing around my house. I'm going to show off all the different tote configurations that I could do now with my new shelves. Going to do one more hang test, and we're going to pack this sucker up nice and tight. We're looking organized, and the organization is definitely going to help my OCD from flaring up. And hopefully, I'm going to find another project or two around the house, something simple that I could do, film myself doing it, and I'm going to put this together again for you guys to watch. I could put, I don't know, I think I counted about 19 totes in this configuration now. Previously, when you wanted to figure out what was on the bottom tote, guess what you had to do? You had to clear out about 9 totes above it, and I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you get the freaking gist.